Hey guys, it's Belle, and I am back to do another review on the MeltCup from Yankee Candle in the new scent for spring of 2017 in Honey Lavender Gelato. So I did pick this up recently. I have been using this in my MeltCup warmer, and so I thought I would go ahead and review this one and give you my thoughts on it. First of all, let me go ahead and just read you the description from the Yankee site. It says, a refreshing lavender treat that's bursting with flavor and topped with cool berry and warm honey. That is how they describe Honey Lavender Gelato. What's kind of surprising to me based on that description is there is no mention whatsoever of anything like milk-based, which is kind of strange. It's a gelato fragrance. How do you not incorporate like a sweet like milk kind of note in there? I do personally think that this does have a very slight milky fragrance, but I am surprised they don't list that. That's very strange. So anyway, my first impressions on this particular scent is that I immediately, like scent appeal, I immediately was like, wow, I really want this. And as soon as I smelled it the very first time, I thought, yes, definitely, this is something that I want 100%. I just think it smells absolutely beautiful, perfect for a spring fragrance. What I love about the lavender in this is that it genuinely smells like lavender buds. If you've ever purchased fresh lavender buds, you know what I'm talking about. It's a slightly different kind of lavender than just like a typical essential oil lavender, which I think smells a little bit, stronger because it's more concentrated. If you've ever had just like lavender buds, you definitely get that fragrance, but it's slightly earthier and like softer, and I think that Yankee did a fabulous job at picking that up in this scent. It's just like a softer lavender and very, very genuine but slightly earthy, so I do love the lavender in this. It is sweet. The honey sweetness to me isn't like obviously sticking your nose in some honey. It's a little bit different than that. And then there's definitely kind of like a berry back note. So I definitely am picking that up as well. So anyway, let me give you some additional thoughts here. Okay, so some additional thoughts I have about this particular fragrance. I pretty much described kind of my initial first impression when I first smelled it on cold, but I will tell you that when this warms up in your warmer, it changes a little bit. When this particular fragrance is warm and melted, I get a lot of sweetness. I think that's where the honey is coming out, and for some reason the lavender that you really notice on cold kind of takes a backdrop and you don't notice it as much when it's hot. So yeah, it's less lavendery, more kind of honey sweet. And I'm just going to say that when I first smelled this when it was warm, I was really surprised by it because it reminded me a lot of candy. It had like a candy fragrance. I think that's where the berry and the honey kind of come together. It gives it like a candy vibe, and more specifically, if any of you have ever had, I think it's from the brand called Gimbals. They are heart-shaped jelly beans, but they're made with honey. And that is exactly what came to mind when I smelled this the first time I melted this MeltCup. So it definitely has a candy vibe with just a tiny little bit of lavender notes in there. So it's more lavender on cold, less lavender when hot. Now, as far as the scent itself, I'm disappointed because the throw is not really there for me. This is more of a bedroom fragrance, and I think it's absolutely acceptable as a bedroom fragrance, honestly. It's light and sweet, tiny little bit of lavender, which is very nice for a bedroom. It did not do well at all in my open, like, family room, kitchen area. Did not do well. I barely could smell it. In an open space, even in a MeltCup, I would give it probably about a throw of like a 4. And I hate to say it, but we know that the candles don't throw very well. So, just Yankees in general tend to not throw very well. So I'm afraid to know what this would do in a candle form. So in a MeltCup form, it's definitely more appropriate for a small space. I'm not that impressed with it in my family room. I think the scent is beautiful though. It's just not a very good performing fragrance, if you know what I mean. So for my final thoughts on this particular MeltCup and fragrance, my thought is that you should just kind of know what you're getting into with this. It's not like I don't want to recommend it because I do really think the scent is beautiful. I really like the scent a lot. Again, that scent appeal is definitely there for me, but just kind of know what you're getting into. It's not meant for bigger spaces, even in a melt cup, which is more surprising, because usually the melt cups will perform and throw a little bit better than like the candles will. So also to just keep in mind that it's definitely sweeter when it warms up. You definitely get more of that lavender on cold, but when it warms up, it's more like sweet and less lavender. I think if you get a really good price, if they have a sale or you have coupons you can use for melt cups, that would be the way to try this. Or if you want to get a tart or even like a votive and, you know, break it up. If you do have a melt warmer, save like the container that you can melt it in. Maybe try it that way. Whatever the most affordable way is to kind of try this fragrance and just see if it's something that works for you. That would be my suggestion instead of spending a lot of money on a bunch of melt cups. So, anyway, you guys, I will leave it at that. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.